As I mentioned earlier in the week, and of course last week, we said we try to get producer, composer, arranger Sruli Broncher on the phone all the way from Israel, and I believe we got him on the line. Are you there, Sruli?
Hey, Yossi, how you doing?
Baruch Hashem. Now, you, by the way, I don't even know where you came from. There was like a Jewish music industry, and there was Mona, and there was Laufer, and then there was Shweki and Fried, and Mordechai Shapiro came, and then all of a sudden, boom, this guy comes out of nowhere, young kid, talented kid, Sruli Broncher, and then you start producing for Amir Devere and Yishai Lapidot, and then you're doing Sruli Netanel stuff. Where did you come from? I don't even know what your background is.
Okay, so first of all, putting me in one line with all these great names you mentioned is already a great honor for me. Mm-hmm. So thanks. And the point is I actually don't have any background in music. That's the amazing part about it. When I grew up, I never dreamed I'm going to be doing anything to do with music. As a kid, I liked video editing and things like that. Mm-hmm. I can't sing. I can't play any instrument. Like, I really never thought I'm going to get to that place. But I always loved listening to music. Like, loved day and night, all the time, to everything.
Wait, so what type of music did you listen to then, back then, when you were a kid?
So it's an interesting mix, because now my parents, they used to listen to Yossi Zweig, which is like all the bells, niginim, kind of thing, like very traditional. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But together with that, my father was a great fan of Lipa. Mm-hmm. You're just putting on Shadok and go. And I'm talking to you about Lipa 15 years ago, like his first albums. But then also, my mother loved listening to classical music. So, like, there was an interesting mix. And my sister used to put on Israeli music, like Naomi Shemer and, like, classical Israeli songs. So, right. I grew up, I think, really with different styles of music all combined together until I found where I feel like I could fit in.
So you're a young kid, you're in school, you love music, you have all these different influences around you. At what point did you start playing around, I guess, with technology or instruments or even songwriting?
Exactly. So when I was like 16 or 17, something like that, I was talking to someone about how music is produced today. Mm-hmm. Because I knew, there's instruments, you play a song, that's it. If you don't know how to play an instrument, you can't make music.
Right.
They told me, what are you talking about? Today, everything's electronic. You could sit on a computer, punch in chords and sounds and things, whatever you want, and you get a song. And I was like blown away with the idea. I was like, what do you mean? Without playing an instrument, I could sit and produce everything that I have in my mind into actual music? Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah. I said, okay, I have to try this out. So I asked my friend to put on my computer a music program, very simple one.
Right.
And I just started fiddling around with it. I didn't have a clue, one note of music. I didn't know. But I just loved the idea. So I just started like posturing around with it and trying this and trying that. And it took a few years until something actually made sense, because with learning the program, I also started learning music by myself, understanding chords and theory of music. But the whole process just came with writing. So I started writing before I knew actually what I was doing. And then all the knowledge came with the time.
This is a question people get asked time and time again. When you're writing a song, is it the melody that comes first, or does it usually come to you with the words?
Yeah, that's the age-old question. I get it all the time. There is no answer.
There is no answer.
Sometimes it could start with lyrics. Sometimes it could start with a melody. Sometimes it could just start with a beat, and on that beat, do a melody. Sometimes it could start with the chorus. Sometimes with the verse. Mm-hmm. There's really no rules. You just need to do something that comes out from your heart, and if it sounds good, then it's good.
So what was the first official song you released as a producer?
Wow, I'm trying to think, because it started with like a few wedding songs that I did for like friends and things, but that wasn't anything like official. I think my first one was also a wedding song, but it was with Chaim Shlomo Mayes. Mm-hmm. He did it for a friend of his. It's called Asher Buru. I don't know if you even have it. I don't know if people know it. It's like something really old. Mm-hmm. And after that song, Chaim Shlomo Mayes told me, okay, look, I love the things you're doing. I want to do with your album. And that's when we started working on the album Basco. That's actually the way I started getting into the industry, because no one knew who I was. I bumped into Mayes really like just through a friend, and he had great trust in me from the first minute without even knowing what I could do.
No, I didn't even know this. So you produced the Baskol album?
Yeah, the whole album.
It's amazing. I mean, when people heard that song and the video of him dancing at the wedding to that song, I mean,
yeah, that was getting viral. At that point, people also didn't know who I am because my face wasn't out there. But I was like, okay, someone arranged the song for Marius, but like it's his song.
Right. So after Marius, obviously your name starts getting dropped a little bit. People want to know who's arranging. You know, where did you go from there?
So the biggest step I did then was I started working as a recording engineer in a studio here in Bnei Brak.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I worked there 3 years, and that was like really like a school for life about music because you're every day recording people and instruments and big productions and small productions and so many different elements are going through there, and you just pick up a lot of knowledge about the whole process of producing a whole album from the beginning to the end, which is quite amazing. So while I was there, I also picked up connections with people. So sounded Amiran Dvir and the Yisha Lapidot and this and that. So I started like getting into knowing people and people listening to my music and liking it and wanting me to produce for them. But then the next major step was when I met Netanel Israel. Because until then I was like a backstage person, like most of the producers and most of the arrangers. They're just people that they you know the name, it's written down somewhere in the credits. No one knows who that person is.
Right.
And I felt like my music is a bit more than that because I'm also doing a lot of electronic music, and today in the world there's a thing of electronic producers that people know him as a person because it's a lot of times tracks and the singer could be like more of a minor part in the whole production. If he makes the music, if someone listens to a song of Dev Guetta or whoever, that's what they want to listen. Okay, so someone also sings on the track.
Right, but it's the actual arrangement, the actual musical production. It's
the melody, it's the arrangement, it's the music. That's what's giving you the whole experience. So then I met Netanel really randomly in the studio. He was coming with a different friend of his, with Dario Haksho. They were recording a song. I sat in the control room talking with Netanel. And we found out we really love the same things in music. We talked and we had great chemistry, and we said, okay, let's just sit in the studio and try to make something.
Speaking of Barrio, you did a song from, I think, Hakol Od Yistader or something, right?
Hakol Od Yistader is his brother, yeah.
Right.
His brother's brother, yeah. For Barrio, I did also a couple of songs in the past.
Okay, so you meet Netanel Yisrael. You're sitting in the studio and you're schmoozing about music. I mean,
exactly.
Did you know about him as a singer? I mean, did you hear him sing beforehand? Did you know about his material?
Yeah, kind of like knew him. It's funny because when he came, I was all excited that he even came to the studio because I knew him before that as a singer. I was like, wow, Netanel, love your songs. Yeah, it's like, you could meet a lot of musicians and a lot of singers in your life. There could be also big names, but if they don't touch you with their singing or with their music, okay, so I met someone very famous, who cares? But when sometime it could be even someone not very famous, or someone not very big, but in the past I heard his music and that really gave me like a punch in the heart. So then I'll get excited.
Interesting. It's funny because I'm familiar with a lot of Netanel's stuff, and the stuff that he released before you guys got together was very different. You know, he didn't have any...
Was very different.
He didn't have any fast hits. It was all very, a lot of slow and meaningful stuff.
Yeah, but I love slow music. That's the point. He had a wedding song called Mekudeshet.
Yeah, I remember it.
Which is super emotional, and I remember I used to listen to it again and again and again. He has something amazing in his singing. That's the main reason why I'm doing all this music with him, because out of all the singers I know, every song I'll give to Netanel and tell him, record it, I'm going to love what he does. He has something so special and unique in his voice, which really touches me.
So you meet each other in the studio and you talk music, and when do you decide to bring him to your house, to your studio, to actually start working on some original material? I mean, did he have a producer or a manager at that point?
He had, he was moving between a few managers, but not something which was too strong. I mean, he didn't like working with them, and he was still looking, he was looking for where he feels his right place in the music is. So he said, okay, let's just sit and try and do something. So we wrote then a few songs at the beginning, which actually were never released. They're different than what we do now. They're more like a rock style. And then the big turnaround in the story came Pesach, Erev Pesach, we were sitting in the studio and we said, okay, let's do something just short, like half a minute, just to upload to the Facebook. And that was the official song. And we took the song Simcha Rabba, Simcha Rabba, Simcha Rabba.
Right.
We did like a little beat, put in a bit of rap, like give it a twist. It shouldn't sound like a children's song, but it should sound like something more produced, more hip-hop. Did a little clip like on the phone, uploaded it to Facebook. And suddenly, tons of people started to respond and share and like, and people saying, this is amazing, we want more. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time my face was also on something. People were like, right, so it's cool, the two of you together, you must do something. And we were like, you know what, let's try it.
Right.
So then the next song we did was Geshem Shalom. That was like our first electronic song, full pop song together, which we released. It was still without a clip. Mm-hmm. And we saw, okay, people are liking it, let's try to do something else. And then we tried a cover. That was the first cover we did was Sia's song. No, before Chamutz Matok. We did Lak Shelcha. We did Lak Shelcha, which was a Sia song. And that was the first time we also did a clip. And we produced the clip by ourselves. All my clips until today, I all produced by myself. I do the directing, I do the editing, everything.
So that's something else I see you started doing recently. There was another singer that came out a week or two ago, and I saw you produce the clip for him as well.
Yeah, so as I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, as a kid I loved video editing.
Right.
So then I stopped doing that for years because of the music, but then when I came back with Netanel, I thought, okay, we need video clips. I have all this knowledge, let's start using it.
I think his name was David Berg, right?
I did for David Berg, I did for Simcha Friedman. He just had a new clip now.
That was with the parkour dancers in the bridge in the middle of the...
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, it was very nice, yeah.
Thanks. So the last few years I was doing all the clips with Netanel, and just now I started also producing clips for different singers. Mm-hmm. So that's getting to be another thing. Anyway, so with Shema Israel we were doing that song in Netanya. And that was the first time I think we understood this isn't like a little gimmick of something you come and go with. We're bringing something new to the Jewish music.
Right.
Because all kinds of singers that today upload to the YouTube songs with clips, with dances and things, and that it wasn't back then.
You didn't want it to be too busy. You wanted it to be more about the artist.
We wanted to be about the artist, but we wanted to bring something really updated and poppy without losing anything from the value of the words and what the song actually has to give to the listener.
The meaning.
Because people sometimes, because they try to be very Jewish, so they could do like, let's do like old music, like at the shtetl, it needs to be like once. And no, you could bring super up-to-date music, 2019 pop, but with Jewish words, with something that touches the person to the heart, which has a message.
Like Ahavat Chinam or Kemat.
Exactly. All our songs, we really, really, really try to put in emphasis on what the song is coming to tell the audience. We don't want to just bring a big hit, which doesn't say nothing. Just, jump up and down. That's it. Especially because we're talking about today, there's a lot of young guys out there which don't listen to Jewish music at all. Mm-hmm. They listen to secular music or Goyish music. And I run into a lot of them, and they show me, look, on my phone, I have all the Goyish music in the world, and Sruli Netanel. That's like the only Jewish music they have, which has actually words of Kedusha or something that has to do with Judaism. Mm. So that's what I feel is our real purpose here, is to really come to those places and give them the best music that they'll like and enjoy, but still with something which connects.
Because I always had this question, half of the material you're releasing is original, and the other half are covers. I mean, how do you decide what to release when, or what song warrants a cover to be made from it?
Okay, so we started to work only with covers, because then we didn't have a lot of confidence in that we could do a good pop song by ourselves. Mm-hmm. So it started with covers. Then we did move to original songs, and we really want to stick to original songs, but everywhere once in a while, suddenly there's like this big hit or something that comes out, and we feel like, okay, it's something too good, we just can't not give it a cover, like we did for Gemara Sababa, which was like crazy hit. It went like viral in the whole country here in Israel, I suppose also
I
in
couldn't.
the USA, what's going on there.
Yes, we couldn't get over it. Netta released this wacky song, like all her stuff is wacky. And then you guys released this Gemara Sababa, which, first of all, not just the production, but Netanel's vocals. I mean, he is on such a high vocal range. That whole song
is crazy there. Yeah.
And you made it about something about positive and about Torah. And the next thing I know, I see you just played some massive show where you guys performed it live, and it sounded just as good as the recorded version.
Yeah. So then that's like a great example of something that it went up on Ynet, which is the biggest site here in Israel. Like millions of people go in every day, and I see tons of people commenting, totally secular people saying, "Wow, this song, I love it much better than the original because it actually means something. It says something. They took the music, they took the vibe, but they gave it a purpose instead of just something which is all over the place." Mm-hmm. So when we have such a big thing, we say, okay, we need to do a cover, even though we don't want to be the cover singers. We're trying to stick to the original material. But sometimes we just feel that's what we need to do. So we're zigzagging between the two.
Did you guys meet Netta after this or at all? Did you hear back from her people?
I didn't meet her, but I heard from some people that played the song to her, and she was like amazed. She was wow. She liked it. Yeah.
I mean, that's something for you, to hear the original artist, doesn't feel you butchered her song, even though you changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, that was a big relief when I heard that, because could be she'll like say, what did you do? I don't like it. It's not my thing. But so that was nice hearing. Still didn't get back a feedback from Avram Fried about a new version for
ABBA, which of course is very unique. I mean, that also I would think made a little bit of a hubbub. You have a very famous Hasidish / Yiddish Hebrew song. It's more for the Haimish Olam, and then Sruli goes, okay, you know what? Netanel's Mizrahi or Sfaradi, and they speak Arabic, and there's something for the Haimish Welt, but we want to do something for the rest of the world. So we're going to take a Yiddish Hebrew song and do Hebrew and Arabic. Let's do something like totally out of the box.
Exactly. So there was a few very interesting things specifically with this song. First of all, it's the first time we're doing a cover for a Haredi song. Usually when you do a cover, you take a secular song or a Goyish song, and you get a gear to a Jewish song. Here's the first time we're taking actually a Jewish song and just giving it our version. That's number one. Number two is the part of the Arabic, which you could call it, and I believe in the USA it's more like that. It's more like to just get it out to the total population. But here in Israel, it's something different. Just like for us, a song in Yiddish is like Mamelushn. It's like, it's Haimish, it's Yiddish.
Right.
All the Mizrahi people that live in Israel, which is half of the population here, for them, Arabic is the Mamelushn. That's what they
really?
feel
I don't know. I'm asking you, is that talking?
It is. It's a language here in Israel. It's a language you could hear on the street. It's a language people speak. Mm-hmm. So it's something that connects people to their roots. So that was something that we felt, okay, in the Haredi world, everyone could do songs in Hebrew and Yiddish, sometimes even English. No one ever did in Arabic, and Arabic is actually where, the Arab countries is where half of the population came from. All the Sephardi people come from Arab countries. That's the language they spoke at home. Mm-hmm. So we felt, okay, we need to bring this. And the third big thing in this song was actually making it into a dance song. Because the first time I heard the song, I was like, this melody doesn't sound like it needs to be a slow song. Right. I mean, that's the first thing that popped into my mind. I was like, the Abba, Abba, Abba. I said, it sounds like an EDM song. And okay, now a lot of people can sing it in kumzitzim, but this could be like Mishemami Lo Mefached. This could be like Yesh Tikva. It's like a really great melody. And now I know the composer of the song, Benzi Stein. He's a friend of mine here in Israel. Mm-hmm. So I sent him a text. I told him, listen, this song is amazing, but I really think it could get a great electronic version. What do you think? He said, great, let's hear. And he loved it. So I really think we hit the spot, and we're getting tons of feedback about it.
Right.
People are really enjoying it.
We don't live in Israel. What is the Olam they're saying? The Arab speaking Olam. I mean, are they loving it?
So people, I'll tell you exactly what the point is, because something like the original song of Avram Fried, it's something you could sing in the kumzitzim and at night and whatever. But when you get this type of version, it's something people want to put on in the car, on the radio. It's something that lifts them up more.
Right.
It's something they'll listen to much more the day to day, because people don't sit at home usually listening to the like quiet melodious songs.
Mm-hmm.
People want something fun and uplifting, and when there's already a song which they love and know from Fried, to get this type of version, they really connect to it. So I'm hearing like all around. I go in the streets to shops to buy anything I could hear, from houses, from shops, from cars. It's really getting out there.
That's amazing. Sruli Broncher with us via telephone. We're talking to him about his musical career as a arranger, composer, producer, and singer. As mentioned, he's produced many singles recently, like Amir and the Veer with Arik Devere, Shuki Salman, Shevet Achim. He did Sruli Green's He did Amir and the Veer's Shana Rishona. He did Mario's Hakol Od Yistader. He did, I think he also did a Rotzim L'Smoach remix for the Kinderlach, right?
Right, that was also mine. Right.
Naria Angel, also another artist you work with. You did a couple songs with him. You produced Nachas's second album. I know a lot of music on that. Nat 11, you did a single, and you even did some work for Yishai's group Omen, which I don't know what happened to. They disappeared kind of after a while.
Yeah, it was something experimental which didn't really work out. So we just kept on.
What surprised me very much was about 2 years ago, Yishai released a song called Bakesh Avdacha. And but it's not what you'd expect. It's not a fast techno, it's a very slow, meaningful, mournful song. And I was like, wow, I can't believe Sruli arranged it. So there is a vibe to not just Sruli arranging, really fast electronic sounds. There, you can do the other side. But I guess my question is, can you arrange like a full orchestral, symphony kind of sound too, or is that something you haven't tried yet?
Look, so first of all, of course, I could do every type of music that I want. Like sometimes I get into a vibe. I say, okay, I want to do something like get into a different type of music. I'll learn the genre. I'll listen to music on YouTube. I'll get the idea and I'll produce it. I have no problem. So if we talk about writing symphonies, I don't know how to write, the arrangements for actual violin things, string section. Right. But I'll sit, let's say if I want to do such a song, and I did do, of course, so I just sit down with a friend which actually writes the sheets, the music sheets for the brass section and the string section. I'll just sit with him and tell him, okay, I want this and this and this. I'll sing, I'll give him the harmonies, and he'll just put them down there. So that's not a problem. I did in my past also different songs which, as you said, are totally like slow and not electronic. In Nachas's album, which I produced, is one song called MS, which I really love, which is totally nothing to do with it.
Right, that was the one slow song in the entire album.
Yeah, one slow. Yeah, he knows what the album likes. So I did do these type of things, but the reason I think I'm sticking so much to the electronic music is that's what people want to hear from me.
Right.
Because if you want to do now a slow song with drums and bass and violin and clarinet, there's 50 producers out there that could do a great job for that. When I came into the market 2-3 years ago, not a lot of people were doing electronic music, and the ones that were doing weren't amazing. So I felt like there's something really to bring in new to the market, to the people that they want to listen to. And that's why people also, when they want this type of music, they know, okay, Sruli could do a great job with that. Let's go specifically to him. So people won't approach me so much for different styles of music. The reason Yishai Lapidot came to me with Bakesh of the Chano to someone else is because we worked together all the time. Also on Omen, also on his private things, also on Semediene. Like I do for him a lot of productions. So he'll come to me with anything. And he said, okay, I need a more like Hasidic song. Okay, I'm still going to go to Sruly, and I think I did a good job there.
No, I think you did an amazing job. The question is, will Sruli and Netanel ever release an album, or are they just going to go the way of singles and music videos? That's something that I get asked time and time again from people who love your music. Not everything's available on iTunes. I know a lot of covers I think you don't put up for some reason, right?
Yeah, so all original music is on iTunes and Spotify and everywhere. Covers, some are, some aren't. It's different legal things. Everything is on YouTube, obviously. Now, about an album, I don't see it coming. In these days, there's no need for an album. People anyway listen to all the music by streaming on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music. I don't see people going and buying albums online. Now, I know in the USA it's more common, and there's also it's more like a status to say, okay, this artist released the album means something.
Right.
So it could be it's going to happen, but here in Israel, no one cares about albums. Just give me another song, another single. Mm-hmm. And there's another big problem with album, that about half of the material in the album gets lost.
No, I hear
because a singer will come, he'll take 12 songs which he loves, 5 of them everyone will know, another 3 a few people will know, and 5 of them no one will ever hear because it's an album, so people just get. When you release once a month or once every 2 months a single, every song and every single gets the right popularity through the people. So everyone gets to know it in the right way. So I feel the album now won't really give us anything. But Hashem is big. You never know what could happen. Maybe it will come.
No, I agree with you, Dad. When you say it like that, it makes a lot of sense, Otherwise, you put out an album and you spend the year putting out music videos to reintroduce people to some of the songs they might have overlooked in the first place.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
How you speak English flawlessly? Where did the English come from in your household? Is this from your parents or what?
Yeah, so my family is Australian.
Australian? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Australian. You see, you learn something new every day. So I'm the only child actually which was born in Israel because I have 6 brothers and sisters. They were all born there. My parents did Aliyah, and then I was the last kid to be born here. So that's actually what I spoke. My mother language is English. So I have a weird accent because it's half Australian, half Israeli, half Americans I speak with, so it turned into a whole mishmash, but
yeah, you could say that.
That's where it comes from.
So what are you working on right now, Sruli? If we can get a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, who are you working with, what kind of songs you're working on that we can expect in the future?
Okay, so let's see. Every time when I get this question, I need to think, because I also forget a few things. Let's see. First of all, now, while you called me, I was in the middle of editing a new music video for me, Netanel.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're not stopping for a second. This is going to be a very, very special song. It's totally different than what we ever did. And I really connected to it also because the subject behind it. The whole clip, the whole song is talking about, I don't know how they say it in America. In Hebrew, it's called Noar Nosher. It's teenagers which drop out, something like that.
Going off the derech.
Going off the derech, which they have very hard lives and mainly don't get the support and the love that they could get from the surroundings, from the parents, from the families. And a lot of times that love could keep them in the place they are and help them in their life. It's mainly lost kids or people that had difficult childhood, struggles and things. So the whole music video, which is where we're listening it now because it's before Rosh Hashanah, it's the time of slichas and of things. The whole music video is coming to show the perspective of this kid, which is going through a lot of mess with his parents and with his friends, and everything's all awful for him. And he's looking for the place where he could actually love himself and connect to himself. So it's quite a deep thing. Not the classic Sruli Netanel, easy, jolly flow kind of thing.
Right.
But that's why I'm actually really, really connected to it, because I have a lot of friends around me which are struggling with things like that.
Is it original? Is it an original song?
Yes, it's an original song, my composition, yeah. So that's one thing we're working on now.
Okay.
I'm working with Baruch Haksho on a song for Breslev, a Nachman song for Rosh Hashanah, which is also just supposed to go out in a few days. I'm working with we're on a song with Shuki Salomon, who was the one that did the Shevet Achim, the Amirani.
Now Shuki,
yeah, so we're doing,
Shuki's more of a DJ.
That was Shuki Salomon.
He's more of a DJ, not really a singer, though, right?
He's not a DJ, actually. The point is he's more like an influencer. He has a crazy Instagram account with 50,000 followers, and he's a great influencer here in Israel, and I believe also a bit overseas. And he does sing here and there, but then that's not his main thing. He's more into real estate.
Right.
But because of all he's there's the slogan of Lashon Hara Lo Medaber Elai, the whole Lashon Hara thing.
Right.
So he's leading that campaign together with David Halperin. And over the last few months, he started something new about anti-shaming and anti-bullying online. We have this, we're in a world where everything is social, everything is on the Facebook and the Instagram and the WhatsApp and the Snapchat and everything, and people really aren't afraid of what they're writing. They could just like kill people over a few words.
Right.
And he's really trying to push in of think about what you say, write a good word about someone, not a bad one. So we decided let's do together a song about that subject.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be something more like fun and upbeat and really cool. So I don't know when it's going to happen. It's like a long production with him because it's very busy.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere around here, I'm working on a new song and with Arik and with Ishai and just a lot of things. A couple of American singers also, but I don't know if they want to know because it sings, which aren't still.
No, we won't get you in trouble. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
So with all the music you're working on, do you still have time to listen to what's in the market today? Do you still listen to the songs coming out from, let's say, American or Israeli singers? Anything that impressed you?
Actually, not a lot. That's the point. I really struggle to find time to listen. Sometimes a lot of the songs that I know, it's funny because I also do mixing for different singers or things. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times the reason I'll know a song is just because I got to mix the song or mix a cover for it or do something about it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a song. And then I'll hear people sing it. So I don't have a lot of time to listen to music. But I do here and there. And sometimes, friends send me, look, you have to listen to this new song. But it's not like once when I was at Sruli Broncher, every time, okay, Avram Fried released a new album, let's sit and listen to the whole thing from the beginning to the end 50 times. And, yeah. So all the music, the Jewish music, which was released until like 2016, I think, I know tremendously well. Like I used to listen to music all day, all night. Now when you produce, you don't have as much time.
Right. No, I meant, is there anything you heard recently that wasn't produced by you that impressed you a little bit, with the sounds or whatever is going on with music?
Not anything I could tell just over the top of my head. I'm sure there is, just need to look about.
Well, I appreciate your time. We had a great time here. I learned a lot about you, especially the Australian thing. So I had to figure out a song to play when I was done with you, because I played the Abba song the previous week. So I went back to a song that I happen to love that you did. The song is called Anava. You did with Meidat Taz.
Wow, that's one of my most loved songs. First of all, it's my original song, which has the most views on YouTube the most.
Really?
Because, because I have a few songs that passed 1 million views, Baskol and Despazaltov, which both of them are covers, and also the one we did with Omen, Beseder, Akoliya Beseder, which also, but that is original, but it's Ishai's song. It's not my composition.
Right.
So Anava is my composition. It's something also that came really out of the blue. I never thought I'm going to do a song with Medat Tasa. It's this song I just recorded for myself. And then I was thinking, who could sing such a song? It's very, to sing it out of Nava, you have to be really humble. How could the person sing such a thing? And I was trying to think who could really bring out those words. And then I thought of Medat Tasa. I didn't really know him very well, but every person that talks about Medat always could tell you how this person is really, really humble and such an amazing person. So I said, okay, let's try. I sent the song to his producer, to Aviad Gil.
Aviad Gil, right.
Yeah, and he loved it. And the amazing thing is, all over the time we were working on the song, which took a few months, all the time people were giving both of us feedback. It's not such a good song. It's weak, it's schwach. And both of us didn't really know, because usually when artists work on a song, you let your friends, your family, people listen, and you get a feedback how it is.
Right.
People weren't really liking it.
Interesting.
And both of us, also we love the song so much, we said, okay, we don't care, even if no one's going to listen to it, we like the song, we're producing it, we want to release it. Mm-hmm. And suddenly, out of the blue, it turned into this crazy hit. So I feel very connected to it.
Amazing. Sruli, thank you very much. Have a ksiva tova.
Thank you. It was great being on your show, finally, after all this time.
And we're looking forward to some great more music from you in the future.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good night. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Sruli Broncher. Here is a single, Anava, featuring Meidat Tasa. You, my friends, are listening to the Z Report Live, J Network Scoop Radio.
יהי רצון מלפניך